Time for a new Creative Juice Challenge. So it's July 2026. We've got a great sketch idea for you. Let me show you the cards we're going to create. Same sketch. We've got the landscape, we've got the portrait, and friends, guess what? We're going to do two different techniques with today's cards. Hello, everyone. Welcome to SimplySimpleStamping.com. I'm Connie Stewart.
And I'm Christina Stewart.
It is time for a Creative Juice sketch. I know you guys love to have these sketch ideas. And I love that they've kind of made a big comeback.
Yes.
I think sketches, especially when you kind of hit that creative block,
yes,
which we all have, these Creative Juice sketches, these are what kind of helps pull me out of that.
Yes.
You already kind of have a layout. We've got two different techniques we're going to share with the sketch today. And a simple layout, you can do a lot with it. You can flip things around. I think it's going to be a really great one. And so, Christina, if you're ready, I'm going to kick things off today.
Yes, you are.
And we're going to do a little heat embossing with today's sketch. Friends, I'm so excited to teach you the card for today. So we're going to get to Christina's here in a little bit, but we're going to do a little fun technique. You notice we've got some white heat embossing and then some colored heat embossing. They just kind of balance each other out. It's a really fun little technique. So let's jump in. All right, we're going to jump in, but I always like to let you guys know you don't need to write down any measurements or anything because we've got it for you in a free download. Here's our supplies. Here are the measurements. You've got some great photos. Click or scan the QR code to come back to the video. And if you like some of the new products that I'm using and you're in the United States, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. There's going to be a second page and a link. Click it. It'll take you right to my online store. Thanks so much for your orders. I appreciate that so much. All right, let's jump into our card. So we're going to be working with fresh freesia today. So I've got some basic white, I've got some fresh freesia, and I do want to go over our measurements. So I've got a basic white, and this is a 3" by 4". And you can see it's just going to give a nice little narrow mat to my fresh freesia. And that is 3 7/8 by 2 7/8. All right. So you can see how that one's going to work. So this one, you see, we're going to flip flop, right? We're going to have the white on top and the fresh freesia on bottom. The fresh freesia is a 2 1/8 by 4 7/8. Then we're going to take our basic white, and that is a 2 by 4 3/4. So I wanted you to see on my card, Christina's is going to be different, but I kind of flip-flop some things around. That is what's great about sketches. You do you, all right? So for my card, we only need the top layers, all right? So we're going to set these bottom layers aside because they are just going to be layers. And our card's going to be going like this, all right? So I've got my fresh freesia. Let me show you the stamp I'm going to use. Inked Floret.
It's so beautiful.
It is gorgeous, and it's huge.
It's huge.
So that means it makes for really quick stamping. Now this one, let me show you how big. Yeah, it's giant. This could go on a full-size card, but it also worked great for our sketch today. So because we are going to be kind of stamping in two different colors, I'm going to kick things off with a Versamark pad. So before you start, you want to make sure you have your cardstock in the proper direction. So mine is going to go like this. So I see I have a bigger, area here, and my white one's going to go on top. But I do want to make sure I have this at the 3 7/8 and 2 7/8. I'm going to bring in that Versamark pad. I don't need the leaves. I just need the flower. And if you guys aren't familiar with Versamark, what this is going to do is just kind of leave a watermark behind. But it also stays nice and sticky, so it is perfect for heat embossing. All right, we're going to give that a good press. Now, Versamark is going to stay sticky for quite a while, although I love, and I hope you guys can see, it does leave a really nice watermark. But I'm going to move this out of the way. Let's bring in my white embossing powder. And I am just going to sprinkle. I know many of you've heat embossed before. I hope, though, that we have some new ideas and techniques for you. I'm going to grab my reversible tweezers so that I can pick that up and just tap off the extra. I like to just give it a little tap on the back. That looks great. My other big tip is to move this far away.
Far away.
Because when I go to use my heat tool, the last thing I want to do is have that anywhere near me. Been there, done that. Okay, yeah, it was not pretty. All right, friends, we're going to do a little heat setting. I've got my handy dandy heat tool. I'm going to let this heat up for about 30 seconds, just so I get some really good hot air coming out of it. If you think you can use a hairdryer, you cannot, because that blows. This just kind of puts out some good heat. So I'm going to let this heat up for about 30 seconds. All right, I'm going to start to heat set this. Now, it takes just a little while for the heat from my heat tool to actually melt the embossing powder, because that's what this does. I'm hoping, because I've zoomed in, I want you guys to see the magic. There it goes. I never tire of watching embossing powder melt. And of course, we've got that white, and it's so bold and pretty on that fresh freesia.
Definitely.
And listen, you could do this card with any color combination. I'm going to be using my card base in Barely Blush, and then, of course, this fresh freesia and the white. I just thought it was a nice, pretty color for summer. So I will finish heat setting my flower until I'm sure everything is good and melted. And now you can really see the shine. Isn't that just so pretty? I think it's lovely. I'm going to take this. I've got adhesive on the back, and I'm going to layer that on my little white mat. Okay, that piece is done. Now we're ready to come into the basic white. And this was the 2" by 4 3/4. And we're going to do something a little bit different, because now we're going to use clear embossing powder and my fresh freesia ink pad. So this one, maybe it's a new trick for you. Maybe you've heard this one. This is one of my favorites, because I'm going to teach you how to emboss in all of your ink pad colors. So like I said, for this one, we're going to use clear embossing powder. By the way, I just keep it all in a big tub because I use this one quite a bit. You want to have it on your spoon ready to go, because we do have to work quickly with this technique. So I'm going to take my fresh freesia and my giant inked floret. I will ink that up in fresh freesia. So I'm going to go right there. Remember what I said, we want to work kind of quickly, so get that pressed down and immediately sprinkle it with the embossing powder. It stays wet just long enough that you can do that, all right? So I don't know if you can see, it kind of looks dull right now. I'm going to move everything. And now I will heat set this one as well. And that is what it looks like when it's finished. But can I tell on myself?
Please do.
I had this, I was holding on to it, and I accidentally let the tweezers go, and I dropped it.
Yeah.
With embossing powder, so I lost a little when it landed on the floor.
It's like that
It's
sometimes.
fine. It's fine. You know what? We'll cover it with the greeting. Okay, that's what we're gonna do.
That's exactly where this intimate goes.
Well,
You're fine.
okay, it all worked. If it was going to fall, it fell in the right place. Okay, I'm going to adhere that now to the fresh freesia cardstock. Those pieces done, I do have one last bit of stamping, and that's, of course, for the inside of my card. So because I want to get all my stamping done, I'm just going to ink up my flower, and I'm right there on the end. Now let's do our greeting and our sentiment. So this is just a scrap. It is 4" by 1. Don't get wrapped up in the measurement, just a good scrap. And this is going to be a thank you card. So I'm going to stamp, I can't thank you enough. Oh, and by the way, this stamp set, that one is from the Banner Sayings bundle. So look at this. We got 3, I know the lighting's horrible, but that is 3 different banners. And Banner Sayings, it's a fantastic sentiment set. So I've got, I can't thank you enough. And I'm going to put the flag. I'm going to use this one here, and I want the flag to be to the right. Of course, you can do however you want, but you can see this is a great way to use up some scraps, my friends, and I have a ton of them. So we'll give that a punch. And now here on the inside, a simple, I'm so grateful. All right, let's put this card together. There is my Barely Blush card base, 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 4 1/4. We'll put this on the inside, and now on the front, you're going to kind of decide where you want things to go. So I think on my sketch, you notice I had it over here on the left side, but that's where my big flower was. So you know what? That means we get creative, and we're going to move it over to the right, and then I can add my banner. So really, it's a great sketch. You can mix it up any way you want. if you want this piece to be on top and that one on the bottom. Really, it's just a great way to get creative. So adding this one with adhesive, but our top focal image, this one's going to be with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I've got about 6 on there. Go line it up. That looks good to me. Now we're going to take our greeting, but remember this has dimensionals on it. So I can't put a dimensional on the end. So I want to just focus here on the left side. So just about 2 ought to do it. And like I said, wherever you have your little boo-boo, well, we're going to hide that. You know, I'm all about hiding the boo-boos.
They'll never know.
They'll never know. Now, it did need a little something, and Stampin' Up! Just came out with this gorgeous new ribbon. It's a fresh freesia satin ribbon, and it is gorgeous.
So pretty.
I know. And I'm so, you know, I just get excited whenever I see new colors. And this is another one. If you ever needed it to be darker, this is a great one that you could color with your Stampin' blends. It's just a really good color for that. Pressing that onto a mini glue dot onto my card, just a little baby ribbon. Now some embellishments.
Yes.
So I am bringing in, I have to look at what it is, iridescent pearls. Okay, these are fantastic and they are kind of tiny. So I'm going to be picking them up with my take your pick tool. I'm going to put one here. Maybe I'll get the, you know, I just kind of get creative. I go, where does it need a spot? How about right there? Yeah, it really is what you want. And friends, ooh, 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 there we go. I mean, I love,
so gorgeous.
Right? I love the little ribbon and I love the little pearls. We've got the 2 colors of heat embossing. It's a really great card. And like I said, this is a great sketch that you can kind of mix and match it. I'm going to let Christina take over. And let me tell you what, you guys, this card, she's going to do some dry embossing and she's got a really fantastic technique. You're going to love this.
So this is the card I have for you guys today. This is just a really cool whitewashing embossing technique that I found out about yesterday. That is just super fun and it really adds a lot to your card. So I'm excited. Let's get started. So I am using the Swirls of Magic embossing folder today. This is a new one and I just love it.
It is so fun.
It swirls and stars and sparkles. What more could you want? And then I have got a couple pieces here. I've got some Flirty Flamingo. This is 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. And then some Poppy Parade. This is 4 3/4 by 2. So a reminder, for a regular embossing folder, you want base plate 1 and 2 cutting plates. That's all you need. So
right. Not the number 2 plate.
Not the number 2 plate.
Right.
We don't need that. So we'll run that through our machine. Say goodbye. Oh, it's so fun. So
heat
magical.
embossing or dry embossing. Yeah. I still get excited.
Absolutely.
I think it's awesome.
So I'm going to be using the brayer today. This is a great little tool. I love it's got feet on it, so I can set it down without getting ink all over my surface. But an important lesson I did learn, if you try and roll with the feet, it's not going to roll because there's feet. So you got to flip it over. I am bringing in some Whisper white ink for this one.
Well, and for those that don't know, the white ink pad comes uninked.
Yes.
But it does come with the ink, so you can use it.
You can use it. Yeah. So you might want to use this like a paint roller, but it's not a paint roller. It's very different. So we want to roll across multiple times because if you just go back and forth, you're just wiping off whatever you just added. So we want to get this really good and inked up for the effect that we are doing.
And even though that looks kind of blotchy on there, it not
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So remember, flip it so that your feet are facing you. And we are just going to go up. And same thing. We don't want to go back over because then we start losing everything we've already put on there.
And that light touch.
Yes, very light touch. We just want to get the top layer. You might have seen on my original card, I had a couple spots where I just got a little too heavy-handed and it went off of the raised parts and got onto the lower parts. And that's okay. That's how people know it's a handmade card. Hallmark could never.
But, you know, that also just kind of shows that when even we as crafters, we learn things as we go.
Absolutely. And, you know, I might just switch the angle ever so slightly, get some of those spots that didn't want to get inked yet.
Yes.
So we'll try another angle. There we go. So that is what it's looking like when it's all done. This is going to take a moment to dry, so I'll set this off to the side and I will do the exact same thing on my Poppy Parade piece. And then I can just lightly set it on its feet so I don't get white ink everywhere.
Would you like me to go rinse that
Yes,
under the sink for you? I think we'll just do that before we do
Yes.
something we shouldn't.
Absolutely. Now I am going to be using the faux linen ribbon, but this is not any of the colors in my card. So I have got a dark poppy parade Stampin' blend here, and I'm going to use the brush tip. If you've watched our channel before, you know all about this tip. It's one of our favorites. And you're just going to color in your ribbon. Now I'm doing this now because it does have some dry time that does need to be accounted for. Otherwise, it's going to look like a massacre. As this is kind of a poppy parade is a nice blood red.
It kind of
you're
is.
looking for one.
I also want to mention something that I've been known to do is when my Stampin' blends, they're kind of like losing some of their juice and it's time to retire them. I use those to color my ribbon.
Yes.
It's a good way to kind of keep them going.
Yep.
And even though they might be less than juicy, it kind of, it's nice. And that way
I do the job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okie doke. So I've got that colored. I'm going to set that off so it can dry for a little while and we'll continue assembling our card. So I have a little bit more embossing I want to do. I've got the interior of my card. This is 5 1/4 by 4 inches, basic white. And I just want the bottom inch of it to be embossed. So we've got these lines here right by the Stampin' Up! Logo. I am going to slip my card in there and I am going to line it up with those lines. So we'll get that good and placed. Hold it down and we'll put our top plate on. I'm scared to like move my fingers. And we're good and we'll roll. And now we've just got a nice little embossed bottom of the card. So we will set that aside and I think we are ready to stamp some sentiments next. And I am also going to be using the Banner Saying stamp set. Mine is a birthday card. So I am, for the front greeting is Cue the Confetti. I've got a piece of 4 by 1 here in basic white, and I'm just going to stamp this in the middle. I'm also going to use that same banner punch that we love so much. And so we'll stamp this. I'm actually going to go slightly off to the side, just because the way you'll see how it all makes sense whenever I punch it out. But we'll go right there. It's a thin line stamp, so gentle, but give it just a little rock like that. And then grab that exact same punch we used earlier. I am going to use the big double flag punch in the middle, but I am going to cut off one of those flags. So, like I said earlier, I'm going to cut off this flag right here. It's going to go under one of my layers. So I want to be slightly off to the right so that it sticks out properly and doesn't look silly. And it just barely fits in here. Make sure you've got your F in there. That confetti. It's like it'd be a much smaller stamp if that F wasn't so long. And there we go. And we're good to go there. And then one more little stamp, just a happy birthday to go inside of my interior here. It's not a stamp heavy card, this one. It's more technique heavy. And that's okay. So we've got that done. And to finish off the interior of my card, I've got this teensy, tiny little strip of Flirty Flamingo. I don't even know what it measures.
I think it's a
5 1/4 by 1/8. It's a hair of a thing. So I am going to use multi-purpose glue because it's significantly thinner than seal. So you know what? And let's not do it.
I was going to say, Christina, you and I are not gifted with the glue.
No, we are not. And that's called no coffee this morning.
What were we thinking?
What were we doing? So we'll just do a really thin line going all the way down.
I think that's some of the best glue I've ever seen you do.
Well, don't say that. I'm not done yet. You're going to curse me. Okay, there we go. And then we will flip it. And I just line it up right where my embossing cuts off. And it's a little longer. That's okay. We will trim
Sometimes I find it easier if it's longer.
Absolutely,
and then trim off the edges.
Trying to get it centered.
Perfect, right?
Yeah,
yep, I do the same thing.
We will cut those off, and I think we are ready to assemble this card.
Yay!
So I've got a couple pieces of basic white here. I have got a 4 7/8 by 2 1/8 here, and then I have got a 3 by 4 here. And I just put a ton of adhesive because this is embossed, so it's lost some of its strength. So I have put a ton of adhesive on the back, and I'm just going to mount those on here. So we've got a nice little layer. And then we'll do the same
I love
thing.
the pop of the white behind it.
Yeah,
with
it
the
really
white embossed.
brings out that white
Mhm.
embossing that we did.
Absolutely.
That whitewashing. Now, you're going to want to give this some good drying time. The first one we did, we actually let it set overnight. We tried doing some heat embossing on it, or just heating it up to see if that would dry it out. And we tried that for about a minute, still not totally dry. So you'll just want to be careful, maybe let it set a little bit longer. Do this in the morning, go have your breakfast, go have your coffee, come back and you can finish the card. So I'm going to bring this in right here, and we'll just kind of align that in this side here.
And I loved this color combination.
Me too.
With
It's
the
really
granny
bright
apple.
and fun. And then I have put dimensionals on the back of this one, and I am just going to center that in here like that. I'll grab my little sentiment, and it's just going to get, don't look at the bad stamp on the back. It's none of your business.
Oh, yeah, like we've not all done
right?
that.
Exactly. And I'm just going to slide it under here. Oh,
Oop, we got a little heavy with the adhesive.
I did indeed. So here's how we fix it. We're going to take our little Amazon spatula here and gently just... I just need to lift up a portion of it. I'll even use it as like a jack, like you're changing a tire. And so, yeah, we'll gently lift and slide.
Look at that. There's always a fix.
Always a way to fix it. Boom. There we go.
You know what? On our channel, you can always expect mistakes.
That's what we do best. I have got that ribbon that we colored with Poppy Parade, and same thing as Connie's card, just a little mini glue dot on the back. And fun fact that I learned while putting this together yesterday, I was rushing. And so I colored the ribbon and then I tried to stick it to the glue dot. Ink that is wet and glue dots are not friends.
And that is why you showed how to color first and let it dry.
And then let it dry. And then we'll just put our interior inside.
Perfect for summer.
Yes,
so again,
absolutely. I'm a summer
colors.
birthday kid. My sister is a summer birthday kid. So we love those summer birthday cards.
Gorgeous. I love that little bit of flirty flamingo inside too.
It really adds a lot. So yeah, there you go. You've got this adorable little birthday card. You can add embellishments to it if you want. You can zhuzh it up more. You can leave it just like this. I think it's beautiful. So yeah, we've taken this sketch and we've turned it into two totally, completely different cards. So we've got a really nice, beautiful, subtle thank you card. We've got a bright and fun happy birthday card, and it's all from the same.
And you know,
sketch.
I just realized, so I'm standing over here,
Yes.
and so I'm looking at the card this way going, oh, she could have taken that and put the banner going this direction.
Absolutely.
I mean, it really is just turn it every which way.
Turn it this way and you've got another card. So yeah, it's just a really versatile sketch that's
and like I said, you could reverse these and put this one on top.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many options. It really is just like the perfect amount of inspiration to really let your creativity soar.
Thank you all so much for being a part of the video. We hope that you enjoyed those techniques and that sketch. Keep that in your back pocket. You'll always want to have that one ready. If you like the video, a thumbs up on YouTube is always appreciated. And of course, if you have not subscribed, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button.
And right next to that subscribe button, you'll see a button that says join. This will take you to our YouTube membership. This will get you exclusive Connie content. We have 3 different tiers, each at their own price points with their own perks. So check those out.
Thanks again for being here, and we look forward to stamping with you next time. Bye.
Bye.